welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, I will do a tutorial in chapter 11. So as I said in the previous chapter, this is the last tutorial in chapter 11. So build a small network. Up to this point in this course, we have considered the service that a data network can provide to the human network, examine the features of each layer of the OSI model and the operations of the TCP/IP protocol, and look in detail at Ethernet, universal LAN technology. So the next step is to learn how to assemble these elements together so the functioning network can be maintained. Say small network topologies. So as you can see, we have here the typical small business network. So the majority of business are small. It is not surprising then that the majority of network are also small. Say a typical small business network is shown in figure, as you can see. With a small network, the design of network is usually simple. The number, the type, and devices included is significant reduced compared to that larger network. The network topologies typically involve a single router and one or more switches. So as you can see, we have a one or more switches and one routers, and we have here the 4 end device and one server, and we have a LAN that we use and one that we use, and then internet. So we have here the factors considered in choosing a device: a cost, parts, speed, expandable, modular, and manageable. So for the cost of a switch or router determined by its capacity and features. So we will cost a switch and router based on their features, their model, and their function. So and their capacity. So the device capacity includes the number of types of ports, as I said, available, and black backplane speed, other factors impact of course the internet management capabilities. So the speed and type of ports interface, and choosing the number of and types of ports on routers or switch are critical decisions. So for choosing the number and types of ports on the router and switch, it is critical decision. It has a computer have built in 1 gigabits in the NIC and 10 gigabits, and the ports are already included with some workstation. And for the expandability, network device come in both fixed and modular physical configuration. So fixed configuration have specific number of types and ports or interface. Modular devices have expansion slots that provide a flexible and add new modules as requirements evolve. So as you can see, so the expandable and modular, it has a requirements evolve. So it can be flexible to add new modules. So we have here the operating system features and services, security, quality of service, voice over IP, layer 3 switching, network address, translation, then NDCP. For the IP addressing for a small network, so when implementing a small network, it is necessary to plan the IP address space. All hosts within internetwork must have a unique address. So all end device has a unique IP address. So you can see we have here location, HR, sales, printer, server, and computer, and legal. So we have here location. So this is the IPv4 for address planning and assignments. Redundancy in a small network. So as you can see, we have here 3 server, 2 switch, 2 router. So It is an redundancy for a small network. So based on the data center, if one server fails, there is another to customer request. So uh, the advantage of this redundancy, if one server, for example, if one server is failed, as I said in the data center, if one server is failed for to handle a customer, so the two remaining server will handle it for the request, so it can continue request to the customer, um, same as the switches. Redundant switches are present to avoid a switching failure. So as you can see, it is again a switching failure and the router. So router redundancy can help ensure that application transaction received from external traffic can be handled in the event. So for this redundancy of router, it helps to receive from external traffic. It not has a delay for the um, receive and a route failure. So for the if the links to one switch fails, the link to the second switch is still available. So as you can see, we have here many links. So if the links is failed, so we can choose, or we have a option for other links to access or to still available. And traffic management. So we have here the domain name system, SSH server, email server, DHCP server, web server, and FTP server. We have voice and video application, infrastructure to support and the existing and proposed real-time application. So VoIP device convert an analog into digital IP packet. So IP telephony, IP phone itself perform voice to IP conversion, and real-time application is transport streaming media effectively. The network must be able to support applications that require delay sensitive delivery. So here's the cable and switch, IP phones, and Cisco Unified Communication 500 series. We have here the small network growth. Growth is a natural process for many small business. So we have a scale in network, several elements as required. So network documentation, physical and logical topology, and device inventory, list of devices that use or compress the network, budget, so the budget of including the um, fiscal year equipment purchasing budget, and then traffic analysis, protocol application, and service and their respective traffic. And then here, protocol analysis. When trying is determine how to manage network traffic, especially as the network. So as you can see, we have here the protocol analysis. Capture traffic during peak utilization times to get the good representation of the different traffic types. Perform the capture on different network segments. Some traffic will be local to a particular segment. This is the protocol analysis. So here's some activity in chapter 11 that I assigned. So activity part 1, security threats and vulnerabilities. So we have here the information identity theft, data loss manipulation, disruption of service. So we have here the instruction. So read the security threats and vulnerability scenarios. Drag each scenario as its corresponding types of security threats. So we have here the information theft, So we will read it in these choices. Here I go stealing a company user database, and then we have here stealing scientific research reports. So this is the information thief. So company user database stealing. So stealing scientific research reports. So the reports, it has an major information there. So the identity thief is making illegal online purchase and impersonating someone. So identity. So as you can self-explanatory for the identity. So it can impersonating someone to obtain the credit. So it can be impersonate of someone, and then making illegal online purchases. So we have here the data loss manipulation. We have here the sending virus to reformat a hard drive, then altering data records. So as you can see, it has a um, keywords for the data loss manipulation. From the word data loss, it has sending a virus to reformat a hard drive and altering data records. So the last one is destruction of service and overloading a network to keep user out and preventing legal user from the accessing data. So we will see if it is correct. So it's correct, and then this is the part 1 security threats and vulnerability in chapter 11, and this is the tutorial of this is the end of tutorial. So if you have any concerns, so just comment down below and we will answer that. And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video.